So when you make a sequence of a few stitches, especially back post stitches, those sequences are long. When you're finishing and before switching to another color, just stretch that area a little bit so it doesn't, the carried yarn doesn't contract your work. It's very important. So I'm about to make 3 front post double crochet stitches with double crochet in between them. I'm switching to brown color, coming from the skein, and whatever twisting is happening here next to the stitch, do not pay attention to that. It's normal. It's how it's supposed to be. It's how you prevent ends twisting. So I'm switching to brown color, making my first front post double crochet, and now I have to switch to gray, coming from the skein again, making double crochet in between stitches here, in between posts. Again switching to brown, coming from the skein, second front post double crochet, switching to gray, double crochet in between stitches. I used to make half double crochet in those posts because the height of half double crochet matches front post and back post stitches, but just for, you know, they're not made too often, and it's okay to make double crochet because they are easier to make stitches in the next round. Making 2 back post double crochet increase in double crochet made in between stitches could be a little bit tricky sometimes. It's a tight spot, so I'm inserting my hook, and to help get to the wrong side, I turn my hook, and this way it's a little bit easier to get to the wrong side. First back post double crochet, and the second one is easier to make, just sliding the hook in the same spot. This is a sequence of stitches that involve back post and front post trebles. So my next stitch is decreasing stitch, back post double crochet, and back post treble together. So this leg is back post double crochet, and the second leg is back post treble in 2 posts. So I made yarn over 2 times. This is treble, and I finish the stitch with brown color coming from the skein for the next front post stitch. Next front post stitch is front post treble. Yarn over 2 times. Try not to make it too long. It should be a little bit taller than double crochet, but not too long. And again finishing this stitch with gray color, and I'm grabbing it coming from the skein. And the next stitch is back post treble and back post double crochet increase. Yarn over 2 times, back post treble in next stitch. Again, do not make it too tall, just a little bit longer than regular double crochet, and back post double crochet in the same post. And again we are inserting hook from the right side, just sliding it in the same spot. Back post double crochet. Front post double crochet at the top of an embossed element of that leaf here. So while normally we will switch to brown color while finishing this last back post stitch, we do not do that if the next front post stitch is at the top of an embossed element. And what it means, when it's at the top of an embossed element, like here, the next stitch in it will be back post stitch. We do not switch to brown in advance. We just finish previous stitch with gray color, making that stitch with brown, and then switch to gray color again for the next stitch. So here you can see an example of properly finished embossed element. We did not switch to brown color in advance for this last front bow stitch at the top of that leaf. So we finished previous stitch with gray, made this stitch with brown, and finished with gray again. So what the result is that front and back loop of this stitch is made in gray color, while post is made in brown color. So now I am on the next round and I have to make back post double crochet in that stitch. So I'm inserting hook and back post and making that back post double crochet, and let me make a couple of more stitches to show you how it looks like. So this is the look of properly finished embossed element. So now let's take a look at this one. Here I made a mistake. I switched to brown color in advance while finishing this back post double crochet, and that made my back and front loop of that stitch of that front post double crochet at the top of the leaf in brown color, and the post is in brown. And when I made back post double crochet in that stitch in the next round, that added this gray strand between front and back loop and the post of the stitch, and it's not a very neat look for the stitch. When you unintentionally made a mistake switching to the color in advance for the last stitch of the embossed element, like I did here, make back post double crochet in the next round, not in the post of the stitch, not in the back post, but shallow, what I call shallow back post double crochet made in front and back loop. If you make stitch this way, that strand between front and back loops and the post isn't visible that much. I still like the look of the properly made stitch better, but that is a fix for this problem if you don't want to frog a whole row. So like that. This doesn't look too bad, right?